What did you go to college for?
Oh my gosh, what a long story. So I wanted to go to college for marine biology. That was my passion. That was my dream. I wanted to basically like save the sharks and save the whales,
the manatees.
Yeah, and like all of it, right?
Yeah.
Like I've always been like I came from Trinidad.
Oh,
so
awesome.
we came from an island, you know, like we were outside all the time. We were at the beach. My kindergarten was basically like up the street from the local beach. So
That's a dream.
I know.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Why'd you come here?
I know. Listen, but you know, like we were always out there, and I got into like high school. I went to a marine magnet program in both middle school and high school.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so I was always like in front of, you know, all of these like cool things, all of these like scientists and all the field trips and everything. So that's what I was going to go to school for. Finally got into college, and getting a grant to do research and everything was a little bit, you know, there was a lot of people going after the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where you kind of get into, you know, like if you know this person and you know this guy, you'll get the grant. And if not, you're like climbing. And I knew a lot of like marine biologists that were all like, you know, crammed in one rental apartment down in Miami, just trying to get into school. So I ended up doing my second love, which was geology.
Awesome.
And so I graduated with a geology degree at FIU, and it was great. I didn't think I was going to like rocks so much.
I was going to say, how do you get into loving rocks? Like, I mean, I know from Carlos, obviously, but I'm curious to see how you got to geology.
So back in high school, we did like an after school club called Ocean Bowl.
Okay.
And so everyone on the team, like it was basically like a competitive like this competitive thing that you would go and you would answer questions and you would like, you know, hey, what is the deepest part of the ocean?
Yeah.
The Mariana Trench, like that's what it was. And so we had a bunch of people on our team, and they put me as the physical oceanography, you know, person.
That's so cool.
And that's how I got into it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
kind of like drawn to it. I don't know what it was.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had an interesting story like that, but I just like to read. So that's not as fun.
So you're a lawyer.
I am a lawyer,
Okay.
a non-practicing lawyer. I like to say that I destroyed my final Horcrux and I got my soul back.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So now
okay.
I'm doing this, which I like so much better. I get to meet cool people and just, I don't know. Life is too short to be a lawyer.
Well, is it like a soulless thing? Is that what they say?
I think that's pretty true to form.
Really?
Yeah. It honestly was just really difficult. Just like 24/7 and constantly working and always being on call. I think that was the biggest thing, was always being on call. You know, like my wedding weekend I worked, or like I took my work computer to my honeymoon because God forbid I didn't have my computer with me. Wow. It was stuff like that. Like I just kind of wanted to be free.
Okay.
And then the second I stopped practicing the law, I like felt it, like the stress, like leave my body.
Right.
So
like
I wish I was as smart as you and just like directly did something I love, but I'm here, right? That's what matters.
Listen, from where I started to where I'm at right now, completely different.
That's so true. Okay, so let's talk about it. What did you do right out of college? Because I can't wait for people to hear.
Oh my gosh. So right out of college, I had my eyes set on Universal Engineering. Like that's where I wanted to go. They were doing the double-decker bridge, and I was like, I have to be a part of that. So with geology, you can either do three things. You can go into more research. You can go into the oil and gas industry, which is buku bucks, to be honest with you. But it's like long hours and things like that. Or you can go into construction. So I decided to stay a little bit closer to home, and my sights were set on this brand new double-decker bridge down in Miami. So I remembered us having like this group chat with, you know, all of these like geologists that graduated, and they're trying to like, you know, look out for each other. And there was a guy named Steve Schwartz. Oh my gosh, that was his name. And he was like, hey guys, I'm leaving. I'm going to California because I'm going to go do something completely different in that geology realm. Yeah. They're looking for someone to jump in. And actually, that's where I got interviewed by Carlos.
Oh my gosh.
Carlos interviewed myself and hired me. And I think it was because I was another geologist.
Oh, he loves you. Carlos is my husband for, you know, background. But yes. That's why he like instantly thought of you for the podcast too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So I started at Universal. And the moment they found out that I was a geologist, I was moved into different departments. So I've made my way around Universal Engineering through their merger, actually. And it's been almost 6 years since I've been there. So that's been my
incredible.
only job.
That's incredible. Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit more about Universal Engineering.
Yeah.
So for people who don't really know what they do.
Yeah, so Universal Engineering is a engineering consulting firm. We do a lot of the testing and the inspections on new construction. We do a lot of the geotech. We do a lot of the private provider inspection. So anything that has to do with the building, electrical, mechanical, plumbing. We're getting into that GPR, geophysics kind of space. So we basically are a one-stop shop for everything construction. And so it's a great place to learn because they have so many, different divisions and things like
all
that.
aspects of
Everything.
of the job, essentially.
Yeah.
And you've been through a lot of different roles at UES. Do you guys call it UES or
We
no?
call it UES, yeah. So
Okay.
we've rebranded.
Okay.
So we were Universal Engineering and GFA International, and there were two competing firms that in 2019, actually when I started, they merged.
Oh, cool. Okay. I actually didn't know that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Learn something new every day.
There you go.
Okay. So walk me through a little bit more about how you kind of ended up taking on all these different roles at UES.
So it was the need, right? So I
Okay.
started off, I was supposed to be in the materials testing department because that's where they really needed someone. And when they found out a little bit more about my background, at that time, we were doing a lot of the geotech work for all of the piers at the 395 project and
Cool.
the 3C express lanes. So they were like, well, you're a geologist. You like rocks. We need someone to start, helping out with the drillers, trying to coordinate, doing a lot of the reporting, helping out with the proposals. Like there was a lot happening during that time, and there was two huge projects.
Yeah. Which projects? Tell me about them.
Yeah, so that was the 395
Yeah.
Signature Bridge, and then the 3C express lane. So they were basically redoing those the ramps at the 595, that little junction.
Right.
And so those were like huge because even though like you might think it's like just a couple ramps, the amount of work.
No.
that
Those things
goes-
are massive. And I know from Carlos, the
Yeah.
amount of work that goes into that is
Yep.
just absolute insanity.
Insane. Yeah.
How was it kind of adjusting to that and kind of being thrown into like such huge projects like that?
I think that that's the best way to learn. When you're thrown in.
That's true.
Yeah, because nothing like gets you ready for that. Like you can read all the books you want, you can do everything, but when you're thrown into that, you learn everything.
Yeah. And what was something that you found being like one of the harder parts about it?
Dealing with personalities on site.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, yes. So like obviously being, a young woman in the industry, you're dealing with these seasoned superintendents that are from different backgrounds, from different states, with different personalities. Sometimes they look at you as a woman and they're like, okay, let's take it a little easy. And then there's some guys who are just like, you're one of the guys, I'm going to treat you like one of the guys. So that
Yeah.
was an adjustment, but it was great,
Yeah.
because once you're like out there with these guys and you're getting down and dirty, they give you a little bit more respect. They
Right.
see you a little bit differently.
Right. But you have to like earn your chops versus, I definitely felt that
100%.
way as a lawyer. Like, if there was a male lawyer and other male lawyers, dap them each other up. Like
Yeah.
they're good. They respect one another. And then with the woman, you kind of had to like prove yourself first. So
Exactly.
that's interesting. And when you said you kind of had two, the former are the kind that you kind of could earn the respect. And then that was the latter. And then the former are the kind that are just kind of always going to kind of view women in a certain light.
Exactly.
How did you feel working with those people and how did you kind of navigate that? Because at least I know for me, that was something that was really difficult. And at times I didn't have patience for it.
Okay. I think the guys out in the field are a little bit like they're like salt of the earth guys.
Yeah.
So at the moment they realize that you're here to work and you're here to do your job and you're good at it and you're doing it maybe a little bit better than the next guy who's been doing this for so many years, they give you the respect. I think that's the one thing I saw in the field. You didn't really get that prejudice. Like at first it'd be like,
Right.
let's see if she knows what she's doing, but the moment you're in it and you're doing it with them, it all goes away. You become one of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And have you had like fun kind of paying that forward and mentoring other women in your job? Or has it been difficult because it's such a male dominated space?
So we don't have a lot of women that go out into the field to do this. And when
Yeah.
we do, yes, we mentor them as much as we can. And that's the thing about Universal. I've seen a lot more women at Universal taking on these jobs. Like most of the girls in the lab, or most of the technicians in the lab are all women.
That's
most of our
amazing.
coordinators are all women. So we have a very like pro women. So it's a little bit different seeing that from our firm
Right.
versus like others.
Right. No, I love that because I
Yeah.
already feel like that's more than your average.
Exactly.
Which I do like something, obviously, since my Carlos,
My Carlos.
my husband works in the same industry. I've actually seen, I feel like he's worked with more and more women as the years have gone by. So that's like a
Yes.
little bit more promising. I need to hear about you being a captain.
Oh my gosh.
I need to hear about how, we can't skip this, about how you, just tell me, how did that happen?
Okay. So COVID.
Okay.
COVID came around and we were trying to figure out what to do outside. We were trying to figure out, different activities and how to get people from inside their house outside and just kind of being normal again.
Right.
So my husband and I decided to buy a boat.
Okay.
And so it started off with going to Bass Pro and like looking through these, and he was like, "Oh, let's just jump on there and let's just see it. It's red and white and it's pretty. Let's just go see." A month later, we were basically locking this thing down.
That's amazing.
And so we wanted to like take people out and have them, out in the water. But there are rules, there are regulations, especially on the water. It's a little bit more stringent than even like, FDOT, I feel like.
Right.
And so we went down the path of learning about all of the legalities when it comes to doing a charter. And so we had to go down that path. So we both got our 6-pack license. We got the commercial insurance.
Six-pack?
So there's a couple different licenses.
Sounds like abs.
I know, right? So there's a couple different licenses that you can get being a captain. So the first one, the lowest one, is your 6-pack license. And then as you go up, you have to have a certain amount of experience with the tonnage of the boat. And then so you go from your 25 to your 50 to 100.
Got
and
it.
so, yeah. But
Okay.
right now we just have our 6-pack, and your 6-pack is basically having 6 paid passengers on board. So that's what we started with.
Very cool.
Yes. So
And
we
you
do that right now.
Oh my, I didn't realize you still do it.
Oh yeah, we have one this Saturday. We
Oh
have a charter
my
this
God. I was
Saturday.
going to say, how do you find the time?
We just on the weekends, and then maybe the weekdays, like after 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Do you not see my face? I'm burnt.
Oh my
because
God.
of the summer.
No, it's just like, she's the suntan goddess.
Oh
That's,
no.
That's all I
We're
think.
crispy right now.
No, I love that. Oh my, and so then you get to do it with your husband. That's so fun.
Yes.
Do you feel like, I mean, maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but do you feel like there's any connection between your role at UES and then running your own ship and like being a captain?
You know what? It's funny that you say that. I think yes. I feel like being at Universal, like it kind of just empowered me. But again, doing all of these things that I wouldn't normally do,
Right.
to the point where just like, let's go run our own business. Let's just go do it because we've done everything else. Let's go do it. So yes.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
UES. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I have to ask, like, what is one of your crazier like charter stories? Like a crazy client, or I don't know. Do you have like any crazy sea stories?
So we just took a client out this past weekend, and we had checked the seas and everything, and it was fine. And then we didn't check again until like the Friday before. But usually we don't take the boat out if it's like more than like 2 to 3 foot waves.
Okay.
And so we took the client out, and on the north side of the jetty, we have like 3 foot waves. And on the south
Okay.
side, right outside of Fort Lauderdale, it was like 2.
Okay.
So we're like, you know what? We really want to take them to this really cool, like this cool reef, this cool spot that they can see everything. And so we usually go out there and we take like potato chips and we kind of like sprinkle it in the water and
I love that.
have all the fish come up. But we were about to anchor, and like this huge wave comes over and literally like just gets the front of the boat, and we're like, okay, let's just go down south.
Oh God.
Yes.
And did
So
you get completely soaked?
everyone got soaked, but they
Okay.
had the time of their lives.
Aw.
And then Josh and I just looked at each other and we're like, let's get out of here. We got to get out of here right now.
Hey, but that's even better because they left with like a fun story.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, we went out there and it was a crazy sea day. And we're like, yeah, that's cool. We're going to go to the safe part. So.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm sure working as a captain, like, and we were talking about, I'm sure you deal with a lot of different personalities.
A lot of different personalities.
And
yeah.
I'm sure your work at UAS has also helped you with that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we get people out from like Ohio and New York and like even locals, and like
Oh, wow.
the
That's so
different
cool.
personalities that you get. It's just like being on a job site.
Yeah. What are some of your favorites?
I like the New Yorkers.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not.
You like them straight up?
I like the straight up, the bluntness, and they're just so funny. They're funny. Everything that they say, like it doesn't come
Yeah.
out of like a joke, but it's just great.
It comes out dry, but you love it.
Exactly.
Like
No,
The
they're great.
Office humor. Do you watch The Office? Do you
I
like
love
The Office?
I've seen it like 3 times.
Okay, same. It's one of the best shows ever.
I know.
Dwight's my favorite. I have a Dwight shirt, but it's not appropriate for the podcast. So.
Oh my gosh. I like the little bobbleheads.
Oh my God. Yes. They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you did after Signature Bridge.
So after Signature Bridge, so that was the end of that geo phase.
Exactly.
And then so I jumped into environmental just to help out. Because again, having a geology or geologist degree, you're kind of flexible, right? Like you can fit in with the environmental people, you can fit in with the civil, and if you have the right personality, I guess I do, you can go into sales.
Yeah.
And so I did some turbidity testing for a summer. I remember our branch manager came up to us and he's like, Vilma, do you want to go kayak for 3 months this summer?
3 months?
It was 3 months. It was with the Army Corps. They were doing a huge beach renourishment. And we needed a technician to go out there to, one, make sure that, all the sand that they're getting is to the right spec and everything. And then we needed another person to basically take a kayak twice a day, 100 feet off of the shoreline.
Okay.
And grab a sample at the north side of where they were working and on the south side. And you're like, you're paying me to do that? 100%, I will be there. And
that sounds
that's
amazing.
What I did. Yeah.
Wait, so how long does it actually take to get the samples out?
So I dragged the kayak to basically the shore, jumped into it, paddled all the way out there. And when you're out there like super early in the morning, because it was Sunny Isles, the water is so clear.
Oh, perfect.
Sometimes you would see sharks.
Okay.
There were sharks out there.
That's a little
They're
terrifying.
not going to mess with you.
Okay.
But they were just doing their thing. And I would drop the dipper, grabbed what I needed, came back to shore, tested it, and then I would just hang out for like 4 hours until
I was
we
going
had
to
to do
say,
the
I
other
was
one.
like, this sounds like incredible. You just get to hang out. Wait, but the sharks, you didn't get scared of the sharks?
No.
Okay. Because
No.
we actually went swimming with sharks for our honeymoon, and I'll never forget. There was a shark attack like 2 days before.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like one of 3 that's ever happened on the island. Like it was just horrible timing. And I remember telling Carlos, like, babe, like, I don't know, this feels like an omen. Like, I don't want to swim with the sharks.
Oh, no.
And then we got in. And it is so much scarier because they were like 13, 14 feet sharks.
Yes.
And I remember we went in and then one kind of came towards us and we freaked out and got back on the boat. And I'm like, oh, babe, do you want to like go back in the water? And he's like, no. And I always hold that against him because I was like, he was so mean to me when I was like, maybe it's too scary. And then he was too scared to get back in.
And he was the one that was scared.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And you're not. So, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What kind of sharks were they?
Lemon sharks.
Okay.
Which I know they don't like hurt humans, but like a shark's a shark. And when you see
Shark's
that
a shark.
big like body that can just like kill you in 1 second, and it's like,
well, when you see the teeth, it's the teeth.
Yeah, no.
It's the teeth.
No. So you see they had to pay you for that. You were putting yourself in dangerous
100%.
situations.
No, but it was an amazing experience. I mean, just working with the Army Corps, they're a little bit more like stringent. So like there's a couple different divisions. They're like FDOT, the Army Corps, and then you have like private projects where, they have different specs for things. So it was nice to get out there and like, again, meet a little bit more of like a serious kind of client.
Yeah.
And so that was awesome. So the 4 hours I was out there, I was just doing reports.
And when doing more serious kinds, because here, like speaking with everything, you're so personable and you're so fun and everything. How was that? Like,
it was
did
awesome.
It was awesome. Did you like kind of shaking them up and kind of making them a little bit like looser?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you'd come out in the morning and, hey, Bob, what are you doing? Did you go out and, swim this morning? And he's like, all right, Vilma, get out of here. Get out of here. So it was great.
That's incredible. And you said it was 3 months, right?
It was 3 months. Yeah.
And when you said test the samples, what does that mean? What were you testing for?
We were doing turbidity testing.
What's turbidity?
So turbidity is basically you're looking at the amount of suspended solids in the water.
Okay.
So you're making sure that what they're putting on the actual ocean or the shoreline isn't going to spread too north or too south. It's kind of staying in that one area.
Okay.
And you're not, it's basically the cloudiness.
Oh, okay.
Cloudiness. Yep.
Oh, so I didn't even realize that was like monitored or a thing at all.
Yeah,
I just
didn't
thought
either.
like some are, some aren't. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And so when you came back from that at 3 months of doing that, what'd you do next?
So from there, I pivoted into deep foundations.
Okay.
So
And what's deep foundations?
So deep foundations is basically all of the monitoring and the inspections of any sort of deep foundation that they're going to put in. So let's say piles, auger casts, micro piles, helical piles, all of your deep foundations.
When you say in piles in layman's terms, like what are piles? Because I know I had to learn this when I was with Carlos, and I know it sounds like a silly question.
Yeah.
But
So your piles are basically any kind of foundation that you're going to use to hold up your building.
okay.
You know, so they can be concrete, they can be rebar, like a cage that you put into this hole that they drill out, and then you pour concrete in it. You can have helical piles, which are basically metal helicals that you put in to grip a certain area.
It's
Because
a helical. I'm so sorry. I keep
helical.
asking you what things are.
Yeah.
What's a helical?
So a helical is almost like, think of a screw,
Okay.
and you're missing some of the sides. So you see the spiral,
Okay.
but it's not a full spiral, it's partial spirals.
Okay.
So it goes in and it kind of screws into the ground.
Cool.
And so you have like, if you have any uplift in that area, let's say that you're close to like the shoreline, and you know that you're going to probably get some sort of like wash from the ocean, or if it
Right.
floods or anything, it won't move. Like whatever you're like an elevator,
Yeah.
it won't move.
Oh, okay, cool. And what does your day-to-day look like when you're doing that? Like, what
So-
does that mean?
So that's where I really I thought doing the geo was a lot.
Yeah.
Because, you're going out there and you're marking borings and you're hanging out with these drillers all night. And
Yeah.
okay, no, that did not,
That pales in comparison.
exactly.
How
exactly.
so?
So when you are a deep foundations inspector, you are working whenever the client's working. So if that's 3:00 in the morning, guess what? You're going to be there 3:00 in the morning. If
Oh my
that's
God.
Sunday night, you're going to be there Sunday night. If that's Saturday morning, guess where you're going to be there?
Saturday morning.
Yep. Friday night, it's the same thing. So I never went to the office. I would keep my truck with me, and we would get our schedule, and okay, you have to go to the FDOT job site on, Taft and blah, blah, blah underneath, and you have to meet them out there 2 hours prior. You have to make sure that all of the inspections are done. You have to check the piles to make sure that they matched what the plans asked
So literally
for.
just overseeing
You're overseeing
everything.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
just small task.
Just very small.
Yeah,
Very small.
no biggie. No biggie.
Yeah. So that's where I really got my skin. I
Yeah.
feel like. Yeah.
Like that's where you grew. You're like, I got no one can mess with me after this. I
Yep.
survived this. Like that's it. I'm good.
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, because how often were the 3 a.m. calls or like the Saturday calls? Because I feel you with that. That's so painful.
It was, yeah. But honestly, that trained me for everything else. Like I know everything that I know now because of those late nights. When things go wrong, you would learn things on site. When again, when you're thrown in to do something, yeah, you got your certificate and you did your tests and you did all of your studying. But when you're out there and you're doing it, you learn a lot.
That's so cool. I love
Yeah.
your attitude on it.
Yeah.
I should adopt that attitude when I think of my lawyer days.
Oh my gosh. You know what? It made me who I am. It hardened me up.
It's true. It definitely did make me who I am, and it definitely hardened me up because
Yeah.
now I'm just like, you're not going to mess with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the best feeling.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Oh
And
man.
when you finish that, so tell me about what you're doing now.
Okay. So at some point I was like, guys, I don't want to use the porta potty anymore. And I say this like very seriously because when
Wait.
you're out there, again, you're out there with the guys. So if you're working on a barge, like I would have guys like go in the corner and use the bathroom. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'd have to jump on the boat, get back to land, use the restroom. All that while you have to pause the entire operation, right?
Stop. That's crazy.
Yes. And so when you're done using the restroom, you would come back. So because of that, and again, being a woman out there, you won't want to drink a lot of water. You don't want to like eat.
I was going to say I'd be dehydrated.
Right. Because you don't want to stop and you don't want to go. So
Right.
eventually I was like, guys, I've been out here for 2.5 years. Take me back inside, please.
Yeah.
And so I ended up coming back inside. And at the time we had an opening for inside sales. And so I was like, I'll take it. Anything to get me out of here. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to do the Sundays anymore. Because at that time I had just gotten married.
Aw,
And
congrats.
yeah, thank you. But I was like, it's been a year. Like I'm a newlywed. I want to be home. I want to be with my husband. So at that point, like priorities shifted a little bit because if I was single and no kids, forget it. I'll
No,
be
it
out there all
changes.
day. Yeah.
When
The
life
moment-
happens is when you kind of get that perspective because like life
Yep.
happened for me and then I was just like, that's what sparked a lot of change in my life. So I get it.
Yep. Yep. And again, the same thing with you. Like you want to be around the person that you just married,
Exactly.
you know? So,
Exactly.
but yeah, so that's what it was.
And did you like it? Have you liked it?
I've loved it. I actually did not even think I was going to like sales this much. And I always go to my mom and I'm just like, listen, I paid for all of this schooling and I did all of this to do sales. And she's like,
Hey.
you know what? It's fine. And I love it. I wouldn't change it.
You know, the way that you told me the same thing, like you would not have gotten to where you are today, even if if you had not done all that education or if you had not taken all those steps.
Right.
So that's just what I remind myself. Cause I also think the same thing. I was like, my God, I was in school till I was like 26 or like something.
Same here.
Oh, those are, prime years, except they're not. I hated my 20s. I like
Exactly.
When everybody talks about like loving their 20s, I was like, please no.
No.
Please no. I love my 30s. I do not want to relive my 20s.
30s are so much better.
Aren't they great?
Yes.
They're
I feel
amazing.
like I have some stability.
Exactly.
I have some calm in my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I'd rather take the 30s.
100%. And because it's also, you've established that calm. Because one thing that I know for me was really difficult is kind of the work-life balance, because it is hard. And I can only imagine when you're getting calls at 3:00 in the morning or when you have to go on a Saturday. And I just remember that took a toll, and that was kind of hard to figure out. And because I had so many ambitions that I wanted to accomplish, but I felt like I was sacrificing so much. And do you think that also kind of played a role into why you switched to sales?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because sales is a different beast in itself, right? So you're not out there like 3:00 in the morning, but you are out there wherever your clients are.
Right.
So like, let's say, and again, it's not an issue because I love it, but if you have events, at like after 5, if you have events at like 7:30 in the morning, if you have, meetings and stuff with clients, you have to be out there. So it's a different kind of a hustle.
Right.
But I love it all the same.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I know sales has like a broad scope of things. Like it's not just, tell me a little bit about all kind of the different things you do in your role in sales.
Yes. So we do consultative sales. So everything that we do, it's more on engineering consulting. So we try to reach out to clients who are having issues. They reach out to us when they have issues. And then some of the services that we provide, it's necessary for a job to even continue or to even start.
Okay.
So some of the, I want to say the hurdles that we jump through are when clients have a specific relationship, an existing relationship with someone that they've been using for years, So let's say
just, you're used to them. Like no matter what you guys do, you're just different.
Right.
Okay.
So like you'll have, let's say like the Related Group, right? That's one of our like top clients that we really, really want. And they've been using a certain firm for many years. Well, if they're doing all of the projects and they're using the same guys over and over again, you have to do something different. You have to be different. You have to bring a different,
100%.
like a different view. You have to solve a problem that they're having in order to even have a chance at those big projects. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And so when they're used to someone, they're like, that's cool, great. I loved having that meeting with you. Thanks for the lunch, but we're gonna use these guys because
thanks for the lunch. Exactly. Yep. Everybody likes a free lunch.
Exactly. So
have you found it even more rewarding when you get someone kind of to switch and then they become your client?
Absolutely. I think that's like my favorite part. And like the moment I even get like a request to even give a proposal, I'll come home and I'm just like off the walls. Like I'm super excited about it.
Like you see it as like, it's kind of like a little competition for you. Like I'm going to do this.
Heck yeah. And I'm a little bit competitive. So I'm okay with that.
No, I feel like you're like me. When I say I'm competitive against myself.
Exactly.
Like I'm not comparing myself to other people. I'm like, Stephanie, I know that you can reach this. So if you're not reaching it, like do more.
Exactly.
And so, you give me that vibe.
Yeah. So I'll sit there like 6:30, 7:00, like sending out emails, and my husband will come in and he's like, hey, you could stop now.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm still, on site somewhere where I'm not actually like coming home until like 8:00 at night.
Right.
But I love it.
But you love what you do, which is the most beautiful blessing in the world.
Yes.
What has been one of your most rewarding experiences at UES in any of your roles?
So being a manager, I like teaching. So that's been the most rewarding part. So I've had to like hire a new estimator. I've had to hire a new team of account executives, basically. I've had to hire a new, like a sales admin. And my favorite part is training. My favorite part is like mentoring. My favorite part is like, hey, this is how this works. As much as I love the sale, I love the behind the scenes stuff. I like, making sure that the project is going well. Like I want to get those like phone calls with the angry clients. You know, God forbid, I don't actually want an angry client, but when we get those, I like getting that to the team, making sure that it's, you know, taken care of, and then sending that back to the client and saying, hey, listen, I know this happened, but we got you.
Yeah.
You're good.
And you want to problem solve. Can you give me an example of that when you get like this kind of crazy client or this angry client, you kind of came in and, you know, you saved the day?
Well, we had one recently. We're doing a project with the district, and like there was miscommunication. We had an account executive who was with us before. She left, so they didn't really have like a point of contact. So like things, you know, were just kind of falling through. And you know, it's nice to just show up with those donuts or show up with, you know, the treats and say, hey, listen, I know that we've had a horrible month and things are not going well. Let's just sit down. Let's breathe. Let's just like take a second, and then let's go through the invoices. Let's go through, you know, what's happening. Let's go through the proposal. What are you missing? Like what's on there that we forgot to put on? Like who's not showing up on site? And it's a nice feeling to just kind of iron out those details.
100%.
And then you just get to the next day.
I can tell that you're a great manager, because one thing I noticed too is like the attitude and kind of the style and the calmness of management trickles down.
Yes.
Right. So if you have someone that's freaked out, but you have the leader in there being like, you know what? We do one task at a time. We do X, Y, Z, and then everything gets accomplished and everybody's happier after the fact.
Exactly. And so most of the other managers that we have are all a little bit older. And so you have a lot of like personalities, I would say. You have
boomers versus Gen Z.
Exactly. so you'll have a lot of people who like they just start to, you know, like, I don't want to say panic or freak out, but like that kind of, you know, is what happens when something doesn't go right. And I'm just kind of like step in. Hey, listen, hold on. Let's just call the client. Let's see what's going on. Like don't freak out. Don't take it out on other people. Let's just see what's going on, and then we just go from there.
And do you feel that age gap difference too? Not just on like when you're talking about on the UES side, kind of managing. I mean, it really is the Gen Z to boomer relationship, right? It really is different. Is that kind of just how you've seen like everything else is just another, you know, example of managing personalities?
Exactly. So again, being on site and dealing with all of those different personalities, and then just coming into the office and dealing with it, but in a different way, but you're still dealing with the same personalities. I feel like it all just kind of works together.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Do you miss being on site now that you're more in a corporate office?
You know, I kind of do. So I am like one of the last couple at our company that can like effectively train pile drivers, you know, pile driving inspectors.
Yeah.
And so the moment we have a new team, I'm always like, I'll go out. I'll train them. I'll do it. I'll take a whole day and I'll go out there with them, because I do miss it.
Yeah.
But would I do it every day? No.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Do you ever think you're going to go back, or you're set in sales for now?
Probably not. Yeah. I like the sales side. I like the management side, the corporate side. It's, you know, like when I was out in the field, I would always kind of look at the people inside the office like, oh, you know, what are they doing? What could they possibly be doing? We're out here working. But on the other side, it's just as crazy, and it's just as like everything back of house is just as important as, you know, you doing the job.
Have you kind of gained more respect for that? Because there is always that huge divide, and one side always thinks the other side's doing like less or not doing enough. And it's just like, wait, we're all really just trying our best at the end of the day.
That's exactly what it is. Yep. So like you have your technicians, you have your back of house, and then you have sales.
Right.
And so if you have all of these guys in like a silo, then you're always thinking like, oh, this one's trying to make me look bad, or they're not getting, you know, what we're going through, or they're not seeing the way that we're, you know, scheduling something or doing something. But we're working on breaking down those silos, and anything that goes out, we're all kind of looped in, and it's really all communication.
100%.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Which is the most difficult part of any job or relationship in your life.
Exactly.
And in construction, when things are like hot and everything is like stressful, right? Because these projects are huge and there's so much money on the line, and there's all these timelines, and there's so many factors out of your control.
Yep.
So just remaining like cool, calm, and collected, I feel like goes so long.
Exactly. Yeah. And you already know there are some clients they'll have the smallest project, but they're the only client in the world.
Exactly.
You know, so you'll have those guys too. And
every client's the only client in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's managing expectations and things like that.
100%.
Yep.
Especially on the managing expectation side, because I feel like not that it's like a lose job. It's just that you're expected to do X, Y, Z, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you do it, it's not like a pat on the back. It's like you did.
It's like you did your job.
It's
what do
you
mean?
did your job, but there's so much that goes into it that sometimes it can feel like you don't get how much that goes into it.
You have no idea what I did to make this client happy. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And what's next in sales for you?
Honestly, so we've had some transitions. And so we've had some people leave. So I am going to be taking over Broward and Broward alone. So I'm going to see if I can conquer Broward and get as many, new projects, new jobs as we can get. We have a new branch manager who is amazing, and he just started out. But he has a lot of pull and connections out in the field.
Very cool.
So we're hoping to see a lot more movement on our side.
I was going to say, don't say if, when.
When, exactly.
When.
It's when. Yep.
So networking is super important, obviously. What does networking look like for you?
So it looks like going to the different associations. So they usually have like a networking, a happy hour, like a breakfast. It really all depends. And every client, like everyone walking on the street, is a client of ours. So yeah, exactly. So because we do so many different scopes, everyone can be a possible client. So we like to be in as many places as we can, but obviously qualifying them, right? So we're not going to go to everything. We go to things that make sense for us. So we go to like the GCs, the contractor meetings, the crew events where you have like, different PMs. We go to PMI events. It really all depends.
And do you enjoy that part too? I would assume you do, considering our conversation today. Yes. Is that kind of one of your other favorite parts aside from mentoring?
Yes, exactly. I love going to events. I'm the person that would go to an event knowing no one and just work the entire room. I love that.
You and I are not the same when it comes to that. What would you say to someone like me? Because honestly, I think I'm what they call like an extroverted introvert. That like once I get to know you, I can like loosen up and I'll be a bunch of fun. But like if you throw me into a room with a bunch of people I don't know, I'm going to the corner table, I'm taking my Diet Coke, and I am living there. Okay. What kind of advice would you give to someone like me?
I would say just do it. Just go. And I would say taking a buddy with you, it's almost a hindrance than a help. Because the moment you have a buddy...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because the moment you have a buddy, you're kind of with that buddy, and you don't really want to talk to anybody because you already have someone that you know that you feel comfortable with. But when you throw yourself into a room knowing no one there, believe it or not, like your body language is what attracts people to you.
Right.
So if you're standing there, chest open, having a drink, people will come up to you because they're like, oh, who is that? I want to talk to her. But if you're in a corner, you'll also actually find a lot of the other, people who are there, the guests who are there, who are also feeling kind of shy and lonely.
Corner people.
Right, the corner people. So the corner people will look at each other and just like, hey, you want to get together really quickly? And then you meet people. So I would say just go by yourself. Go by yourself and just throw yourself in it.
Do you ever go by yourself to like the movies or to eat?
I've done eating. I haven't gone to the movies by myself.
Oh, okay. My brother does it all the time and he like loves it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could. Do you like eating by yourself?
Sometimes I do, but I'm a talker.
Oh, okay.
So I want to talk to someone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I know you love mentorship. And I think what's so cool about you is all the different things you've done and the fact that, you're still a captain. You're just like, you do whatever you want. There's no limitation. There's no boundary. And it's up to you to like achieve it. I love that. What would you say to anybody who's listening that maybe is doubting themselves or like, I'm at X and like to get to Z is so far away or it's so different from where I am now. What would you tell them?
I would say create little goals.
Okay.
That was what I did, And so even back to the captain thing, we like 5 years ago, we would never think that we would be, on all of these different like applications and like getting all of these different charters. But it took that one crazy step, and it took that like little spontaneity and just kind of trusting your gut and doing it. And again, chartering is a little bit different because we are in South Florida. That's a main thing. That's your tourism, but do your research.
Right.
But then just take the step. I mean, once you've done all of your due diligence and you feel like it's going to work for you, just do it. There's nothing that's going to go wrong other than you like losing your entire house. Like don't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
But like if you think it's going to get you to the next step or get you to your next goal, create little goals and just do them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This was great.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You guys of course.
Are doing it. This is a great space.
No, you're the best. I'm like, I want to talk to you longer. But where can anybody find you if they want to look you up or talk to you after?
I am on LinkedIn and I am on Instagram.
Okay.
And that's all I got because I didn't think I was going to be this cool, So
you're super cool. So let them know your name so they know where to find you on Instagram and LinkedIn.
I have to get back to you on that because now I don't know my handle.
Oh, okay. We'll put it in the captions then.
There we go.
Can you pronounce your last name for me though?
Which one? The unmarried or the married?
The married.
Bartczack.
Bartczack. Okay.
Yes. So the Polish, they really say Bartczack.
Okay.
But my husband and his family, they say Bartczack. So that's what we're going to go with.
Okay. Vilma Bartczack.
Vilma Bartczack.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you so much. It was great. It was great. This is great.
Yeah,
Thank
this was
you.
fun. Awesome.
Awesome.